Hey Taurus, welcome to your weekly forecast for August 31st through September 6th. We're going to see what's happening the week ahead with this lovely tarot deck here. And then, my darlings, we're going to pull an oracle message for you all from this deck here. So without further ado, we're going to jump right on in and see what's going on for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We do have a full moon coming up early in the week, so we're going to check out and see what is happening with the energies, what Taurus is going to be experiencing in the week ahead. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Excuse me. Whew, my apologies. I had a cough attack there, Taurus. There are no accidents coming into reading space and reading energy. So coughing is one way in which we clear energy. So Taurus, you guys might be going through a really significant clearing. Specifically for a lot of you, there could be some clearing in the throat chakra. So throat chakra is going to be when, like, you know, you're getting over the fear of speaking up, or there's something you just haven't been speaking your truth in some way, and that's going to be clear to where you're going to be able to speak your truth. But let's see what the cards have to say. So your first card here is Page of Wands. So Page of Wands is going to be feisty energy. It can even be a little bit impulsive. Now, traditionally in tarot, we can look at Page of Wands as like a younger fire sign person. So some of you could be dealing with a younger fire sign person, or if you have fire in your chart, that could be something coming up to the surface. However, Page of Wands kind of has a special meaning for me in my readings. Over the years reading for people, I tend to see this card come up when it's usually for the type of people or the type of person that you had a lot of responsibilities very young in your life. Like, you didn't get to have, like, I'm here in the United States, so I understand that in other countries, if you're in another country, the experience of teenagers might be very, very different, right? But here in the United States, typically teenagers, it's a very carefree time, and they get to, you know, explore, you know, oh, I have a crush on this person or that person, and oh, they asked me out, and they get to like start dating and driving cars and being with friends and playing in sports and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And maybe you didn't get to do any of that. You didn't get to do that stuff because you may have had a lot of obligations and a lot of responsibilities at home, where like you had to be the parent. Even though you were the kid, you had to be the parent. And so you didn't really get to experience that really fun time. You didn't get to experience that carefree time in your life and finding out who you are and discovering yourself. So a lot of the times when I see Page of Wands, you're going to get to have that adolescent experience. You know, we talk a lot about the inner child. Oh, your inner child's going to be coming to the surface. Or, oh, your inner child is like wanting to play. Taurus, your inner teenager is coming out. And that can be a lot of fun, and there could be a lot worth exploring. However, you know, the other side of the Page of Wands is, don't get too feisty. Don't get too carried away. Okay? So some of you might be in that feisty kind of go for it, confident energy. Beautiful, embrace it. For some of you, this could be a person that you're dealing with, because maybe you are feeling feisty and bold, and you might have a friend or a family member or a romantic partner even who's being super supportive, and they're like, yeah, Taurus, you should totally go, and you should totally tell your boss what's up, or oh, you should totally, you know, find another job or start that business, or you should totally do this or do that, or you know, like, go big or go home, you know. And they might be encouraging you to take super big risks, but keep in mind that you're the one that has to deal with the consequences of those risks, right? So even though it's really great to have that, you know, live for the moment, you know, seize the day energy, think things through, and don't allow anybody to like overhype you, or get you so worked up to where you're jumping into a situation that can end up not going so great. Okay, so you have to be in charge of that bold feistiness. Your next card here is the King of Cups. So some of you could be dealing with a water sign, and I know traditionally with the King of Cups, right? People who watch tarot videos, what happens when we see King of Cups, people automatically assume, oh, I'm getting married. Oh, this is like husband material. Oh, this is like someone who's going to have kids with me. And even though traditionally those are all things the King of Cups can stand for or symbolize, I want to really emphasize here on my channel, if you're new here, in the weekly videos, I don't focus on love and romance. So I do a monthly love reading. The ones for September are linked in the video. You can check it out after this one. But in the weekly videos, I'm going to try to look at the cards, everything other than love and romance. So when we put those kinds of relationships aside, King of Cups can be a very generous person. He can be a very cultured person. He could be someone who is really good at being able to have healthy boundaries when it comes to giving, right? They're going to know when is a good time to help somebody and when is a good time not to help somebody. And somebody might say, oh, well, when is it a good time not to help somebody? Well, if it's somebody who is being greedy, or somebody who's gonna try to, take more and more and more from you, that's not a situation where you want to give. Or somebody who's taking advantage or being dishonest, right? The King of Cups is really good at not falling into those situations, not getting taken for a ride. So Taurus, if you've been trying to find the good balance here and you've been having a hard time, like, man, when I'm good to people and I'm there for them and I help them, I get burned. And then when I'm cautious and I'm careful and I don't want to get burned, so I don't give and I'm not generous, then people accuse me of being greedy or selfish or, whatever, right? You're like, I can't win either way, right? So King of Cups, a lot of times for me in readings, can mean that you're finding the balance. You're getting very smart about when to give, how to give, who to give to. King of Cups also has a very father energy to me in this deck. And it's really interesting because it's like, I feel like it's like somebody's dad and he's like pouring a cup of coffee, like, have a seat, like, let's have a talk. Let's have a talk. And the act of, like, pouring somebody something to drink, especially like a coffee or a tea or something warm, it can be kind of soothing, kind of comforting, kind of nurturing. And so for some of you, if you have had a father who wasn't very nurturing growing up, or maybe he is very kind of closed off and you guys don't get to talk, he may be realizing that he's aging. He may be realizing, oh, hey, like, who knows how long I'm going to be here. So for some of you Taurus, I feel like those of you, whether your father is still alive or not, he may be wanting to talk with you this week. So if he's passed on, he may be coming to you through your dreams. For those of you that your father is still alive, he may be initiating a conversation with you. And he may be kind of wanting to tell you some things you don't know about that he might feel might be helpful for you to kind of make sense of certain experiences that you've had. Maybe kind of sharing some family secrets or family history that he hopes that maybe you'll pass down to future generations. But most importantly, to tell you how they feel about you, because they might feel like they haven't done that enough. And they might even want to apologize for certain things. So that's what I feel for some of you in terms of father and father energy. Okay. Just really wanting to have a talk with you and to explain a few things and to express their love, their care, and to just, they don't want there to be any bad blood. If you don't know who, your father is, because sometimes that happens, right? That happens. There's people that are in that situation. They don't know who their dad is. I feel like something is happening this week that it might be revealed to you. And for some of you, in some cases, again, this is really specific, so it's not going to be for every single one of you. I feel like you already have a feeling, like you have a gut feeling. You know, I think that man was my dad. I think that man was my dad, right? Like there might be somebody that you're speculating or suspecting, and I feel like there's a confirmation that's coming in for you, right? Either you've known the person, but he was never introduced to you as your father, or you kind of have a feeling of what may have happened, and that might be why nobody's told you who it is. I feel like you're getting some kind of confirmation that like your gut feeling was right, but also telling you like who is your dad, who is your dad. And for some of you it might even be, you know, him finding you, or him, you know, I don't want to say tracking you down because that sounds scary, but you get what I mean. Like it could be him like trying to find you and say, hey, I'm your dad, this is what happened, this is why I wasn't around. And they might be kind of wanting to try to have a friendship with you moving forward. Your next card here, Taurus, is Judgment. So that's a big decision that some of you are going to have to make. That might be a doozy of a decision, right? For those of you that your father might be telling you things about the family, I think it's going to be a big eye-opener for you. And there's going to be a lot of things that make sense that are going to help you understand who you are and why you feel the way that you feel. And for some of you, it might even make sense to you as far as like life purpose stuff. So, okay, I think this is what I'm supposed to help people with, or this is what I'm here to do, because the Judgment card can also indicate answering a higher calling. Okay, answering a higher calling, wanting to do something more important. Now, it is a major arcana card, so anytime the major arcana cards come up, we're coming into a very significant crossroads, and we're coming into a very significant new chapter in our life. And so these are the types of moments when our angels and guides are around us, helping us, because we're about to learn and master something we came here to master. We're about to accomplish something we came here to accomplish. And the Judgment card is a massive one. It's a massive, massive one. Some of you may be parting ways with family. If there are secrets that are being revealed, you may find, or you may feel, look, I can kind of understand why you all felt like you had to keep that from me, but the fact that you kept it from me makes me feel like this is really toxic. And so some of you might be taking it as like a betrayal, or you might be taking it as like a confirmation that it's okay for you to separate, to go your own way. Okay, and for those of you that are having that experience, because we do have the major arcana card, it's telling us that this is directly linked with what you came here to do. So maybe you've been making certain sacrifices for people in your life, or for family members, and now that this is being revealed, you're like, well, good to know, because now I don't feel guilty and I don't feel like I have to make these sacrifices. Now I'm going to go do the things I want to do. You know, some of you might even be leaving a political party, or leaving a religion, or leaving a community, right? And just kind of saying, you know, I'm going to go and, you know, be who I've always felt I was on the inside. But I had to put that on the back burner because I had to, you know, make these sacrifices or fulfill these things that I thought were obligations. But, you know, that's not cool. So, like, some of you are maybe stepping away. Your next card here, Taurus, is Ten of Wands, right? Ten of Wands can have a few different meanings. It can indicate that somebody is burdened and stressed out. And so if there is a sense of burden or stress, this card could also be warning us that, hey, you need to do something about the stress that you're under, because if you don't, it's going to run you down and you're going to start not feeling well. You know, you may, come down with something. Now, I want to clarify and I want to emphasize, I am not a medical medium. I cannot diagnose anything. I cannot pick up illnesses for people. A lot of the times when people schedule readings with me, they ask for like, yo, what's going on with my health? I can't tell you that. It's not one of my expertise. But this card can say, look, you got to take care of the stress so that it doesn't run down your immune system, or you don't end up just kind of breaking down from all the stress. So those of you that you are having some information revealed to you, it's going to be good to talk to somebody about it, right? To find somebody to talk about it, right? A friend that you trust, maybe somebody else in the family, a relative that you trust. If you can't afford to full on find a therapist and sit down, I know there's a lot of things that are coming up where there's like therapy apps that are like really affordable. A friend of mine was telling me the other day that they started doing it, and I can't remember. It was like really, really inexpensive. It was like $20 or $30, and I like they could check in with this person, like I think it was like once a week, and kind of like, just text back and forth about what was going on. I don't know. I don't know, but I know that there's a lot of different apps and things like this. So some of you, maybe that might be a good alternative. Like if you can't go traditionally find the therapist and talk to somebody and have a full-on therapy session, there's all kinds of therapy apps and programs and things that, you don't have to do it forever, but maybe just to get this off your chest can be helpful. 10 of Wands could also indicate the completion of something, like just being done once and for all. So whatever heavy burden you had, you're coming out from under it, right? You're setting down this heavy burden. You're no longer taking everything on your shoulders, right? So again, that really ties into that Page of Wands card, because I told you guys, when the Page of Wands comes up for me, it's typically someone who didn't get to have fun when they were young. They had lots of burdens, lots of responsibilities from a young age, and now they're finally able to live their life, and that inner teenager is coming to the surface. So again, this is, I feel with the Judgment card here saying, this is a permanent change. Whatever stresses you've been carrying, whatever burdens and obligations you've been carrying, whatever sacrifices you've been making, I feel truth is being revealed so that you no longer feel obligated to make these sacrifices out of guilt and to no longer carry this burden, because there might be some deception in some cases for some of you, right? So why be all loyal if there's been deception? But we're going to see what your oracle message is here with this card, or this deck. And as always, I encourage you guys to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might add extra information. It might resonate for you more than your sun sign. And if you would like a private reading, you can schedule with me through Calendly. The link in the description. So we have release. Letting go of a lot. Letting go of the burden. Letting go of the stress. The things you've been carrying. The eye here, it's like you're seeing the truth. The heart here, connecting in your heart and what you want. The star and like the healing and the love and like, loving of self. So even though you might be releasing and moving on and feeling like there might have been some betrayals, you're not leaving with bitterness. I feel like you're able to just kind of, tie up the loose ends and walk away peacefully without it having to be dramatic. The star, to me, like stars represent intuition and divine guidance, like angelic guidance. So a lot of you might also be really in tune with the direction you feel your angels calling you in, which is really confirming the Judgment card that you all received. So I thank you all for watching, Taurus. Don't forget to check out your channeled angel messages in the description of the video. You can click the link to watch those, as well as the love readings for September. Don't forget, every single day on Instagram and Facebook, amethystangellight, I post a daily message. I post a fun little pick a card game. So keep up with the daily card messages on social media. And every month I do giveaways on there as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Bye, Taurus. Take care, my dears.